See? Strings made a difference. Hey, we're back. I am Jo.
And I'm Kokoy.
And together we are...
TITOS with Ukulele.
Today, we have to change the strings of On My Kentley Morales ukulele. There are different reasons why you might want to change the strings. You could have broken a string. Or you want to change the strings to get a different feel or sound out of your ukulele. Now, you will need certain materials and tools to change the strings of our ukulele. First of all, we need the extra set of strings.
Okay. Yes, the actual set of strings, which depending on your size of your ukulele, will have to be matching to your case.
Right now, this is a high G string set. My wife and I, we both play ukulele. We prefer exactly this low G string set.
Okay, low G is when you have the G string, usually either wound or nylon, but it can be tuned to a lower G setting.
You will need a way to cut your strings. You could use a sharp pair of scissors or a tool specific to cutting the strings like this one. Personally, I prefer nail clippers.
Yes, if you are on a budget or a faster way of cutting, you can use your usual nail clippers.
And then finally, you will need a way to tune your ukulele afterwards. So I prefer a clip-on tuner. Now remember, after you've changed the strings, it will take a week or two for the strings to settle in before they actually keep their tune.
Yes, and in this episode, we will teach you a little few tips on how you change the string, and you can maintain the string to make it sound natural and in tune most of the time.
I'd also like to point out that since you will be removing all of the strings, you might want to take this opportunity to clean the fretboard and the bridge.
Yes.
And you might want to put a nice oil on the fretboard itself. It's just part of regular maintenance.
Yes.
So, let's change the strings.
After you, Jo.
Okay, here we go. The first thing you have to do is to prepare everything that you will need to change the strings of your ukulele. You will need a set of new strings. Please make sure that the size of the strings are appropriate for the size of your ukulele. You will also need something to cut the strings. You can use a dedicated string cutter, a sharp pair of scissors. Personally, I prefer to use nail clippers. It is optional but nice to have a peg winder. I prefer to loosen the existing strings on my uke before I cut them and remove the strings. You might want to take this opportunity to clean and oil the fretboard of your uke and the bridge. It's a good opportunity since there are no strings to get in the way. I recommend installing the 4th string first. Get one end of the string and push through the hole in your bridge. You will loop it back and around. I recommend looping from the right side, going under the string, and then over from the left. Pull a little on the string to tighten it. Push the other end of the string through the hole in the tuning post. I like to wind the string a couple of times on the post from the bottom going up, then I push the string through the hole in the post. Make sure that you are aligning the string with the proper notch on the nut. The string has to be wound from the inside area of the headstock going out if you are using a paddle headstock like mine. Leave a little tail or excess on the string after you have wound it on the tuning post. Do the same for the 3rd string. Make sure to tuck in the tail of the 4th string into the loop of the 3rd string. You will also have to tuck in the tail of a 3rd string into the loop of the 2nd string. Again, you do the same for the 2nd string, but we won't tighten its loop first. Let's install the first string, but let its loop go into the opposite direction of the other strings. Tuck in its tail into the loop of the second string. Push the other end of the second string into the appropriate tuning peg and tighten the string. Do the same for the first string. Use a peg winder if you have one to further tighten the strings. Tune your strings. Cut the excess tail of the strings. I recommend cutting the excess strings at the tuners after the strings have properly settled and stretched. Hey, okay, done. Finally, I've changed my strings and
Yeah. Does it feel better now?
yes, it sounds warmer. I've lost a little of the brightness, but I've traded warmth for it. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. You've changed it to what kind of strings?
This is a Diodario all nylon low G string set.
Yes, all nylon, meaning that the low G is actually made of nylon. Pretty helpful for those people who don't want a very rough wound. Yeah. So just a recap on what you used. This method of stringing strings is actually something that Joe kind of put together with his experience with crafts. And it is pretty unique.
It's how I like to do it.
Yeah, pretty unique and neat. Don't ask me to change the strings for you because I'm pretty messy and fast.
Yeah.
So just as a review, I've noticed that you used the usual what tools that you use are something that you can find at home. Like for cutting strings, you used a nail clipper, which is pretty useful. This is the standard wedge nail clipper, but you can usually just use the pedicure one.
This is for it's a toenail clipper. I prefer the smaller one.
Yeah, I use it for bass guitars. No, but to make life easier, you can purchase one of these. Now, whether the original branded ones or what you find in our online sales, this is the do-it-all maintenance kit for guitars and ukuleles. What you have is a clip, which is like a clipper on this end, and also your string winder. So this is more or less a multi-purpose tool for all sizes of instruments, even bass guitar, you can use it. It even has, I noticed that what you did also is change strings on a standard bridge, right? So for ukuleles with pin bridges, where there is a pin that holds it, now this tool can actually have a pin remover over here, as well as the way you tied your strings is for that style of bridge again. If you have the old school, like the pin, a modern type, which is the pin.
Or maybe a slotted bridge.
Yes, a slotted bridge is something that you either use a nut, or there are strings available that have the ball ends.
Like from Ernie Ball.
Yes, from Ernie Ball. When you buy a ball end, and Ernie Ball tells you that if your instrument that cannot accommodate the ball end, all you have to do is just chop it off. And they have instructions on how to wind it. So it really depends on what instrument. And for this instrument, what Joe did was a typical three loop wind, but in his style where everything is kept in place and hidden.
Yeah, I really don't like it when the tail is loose here because sometimes it causes buzzing when you play.
Oh yes, and also it can hit you. Yeah.
Then of course, since during the process, since you're taking all of the strings off, I would really recommend that you go in and clean the fretboard and oil it up, especially the bridge.
Yes. To clean your instrument, you can actually just use the standard lemon oil, which you can buy at any guitar shop or even online. There are actually alternative lemon oils. You can actually still use the lemon oils for furniture, but just make sure you put a little because those are a little bit more dense. And also to clean up parts of your ukulele, you can get yourself one of these. These are pretty helpful. They are practically microfiber wedge tools that you can have to just clean your instrument right over here, right, where things that are you can't reach. For this part, that's just when you have to remove it and maybe just slot it a little bit more. You can also use this to brush out most of the dust.
You know, I had a hard time when I was winding the strings because you have to get the right tension to get it in tune, and like, yeah, this helps. It's a little better than winding it with your fingers.
Yes. For tuning purposes, you can either do the manual way, which will take you forever. You can even use this. But what I like to recommend is you get yourself some power. Yeah. Now, well, if you have something like a powered screwdriver, you can use it for your tuning purposes, right? All you have to do is get yourself the adapter. Yeah, it's a tuning adapter built specifically for instrument tuners. Of course, my recommendation is you get a power screwdriver because the power drill will be too strong and too fast. You might eventually break your tuners. So yes, for those people who don't want to take that much time, yeah, you can tune up or tune down with your power driver.
For me, that's an investment if you change strings frequently. Like, if you install or change strings frequently. Like, for example, if you build guitars or you have 200 guitars in your house, you would buy that. But
well, actually, if you do break your tuners, this is pretty useful when you're changing the tuners at the back with the screwdriver.
But for us lesser mortals,
yes,
this will do.
That will do.
Or
there are actually automatic tuners that are like powered. These are from different brands. What they do is they actually tune for you. So all you have to do is put the power tuner over at the tuner, pluck your strings, and basically choose which note that you're trying to get. Or even some are so automatic that it can pick it up. Then it will just wind it properly or wind down.
Folks, if you know anyone who plays a ukulele, those are nice
gifts.
Stocking stuffers for Christmas.
Yes, coming up to Christmas, our episode. Yeah, but yes, once you do finish changing the strings of your ukulele, one problem that you will encounter will be to keep it in tune with the first few days or even the first few hours.
Actually, for me, it takes about at least a week, sometimes two, just for the strings to stay in tune because they're stretching and they're stretching. Like a while ago, I tuned it and it's now out of tune.
Yes. May I?
Sure.
Well, one thing, yes. When you put in new strings, especially nylon strings, because they're roughly a flexible material, they tend to just tune up and tune down at will for the first before they settle down, right? So often than not, people try to stretch the strings, as they say, and if you use your hands and you do that for 4 strings and especially for wound strings, sometimes it can be quite painful for you, especially if they're thin. So there is such a tool as the string stretcher, which we also recommend. All you have to do is basically by logic. You just string it up so that it forms sort of a wedge so that you can just easily just tune up and down. Yeah, just do it, exercise. Don't exercise too much because it might break your strings. You just have to feel it. Yeah.
I wonder how that works on an Aquila Red.
Yeah, it will actually work if you do it carefully. It works actually on all instruments that are stringed. Normally, instruments that are stringed usually need that time for stretching. This helps a lot. You just have to be careful. Don't pull too much. Yeah. So all you have to do is just bend it up and down. Yeah, go along. And actually, in most cases, it will actually just make your tuning faster. You're settling down faster. Yeah. So all those are actually tools that you will find on your local online shop or even the physical shop. These are tools that are actually good for maintaining string instruments.
Guys, stocking stuffers. Christmas season has begun here in the Philippines.
Yes, it's we are in our bare months, and these are good stocking stuffers. If you also have a big toe, yeah, for your big stockings. So I'll go with the power drill. Whoa, yeah. So Joe, that was a very interesting episode and a very helpful episode, hopefully for our patrons out there who would like to send us more stocking material.
Yes, once again, we need your likes. We need please subscribe to the channel. Your likes and your subs, we really appreciate it, and it keeps us going.
Yes, with that, we'd like to welcome you to the Christmas season. And do watch more of our new episodes for this coming season. And more tips aside from just ukulele reviews. Thank you, Joe, again.
Thanks, Koy.
Yes.